Mayat nga aga. Assalamualaikum. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Through the years, the government service insurance system carried out a host of reforms to transform the system into a caring institution that is more consultative, transparent, and member focused. The GSIS hit the ground running, engaging our stakeholders to bring our services and programs closer to our members and pensioners. We would like to thank you for accepting our invitation for today's dialogue. This aims to provide an update on the reforms currently undertaken by GSIS, listen to the concerns of our members, and foster closer ties between GSIS and our stakeholders. Today, we are privileged to have with us one of the members of the GSIS Board of Trustees, Trustee Dr. Kahar Bima Kasayan Alhaj, and top executives of GSIS, headed by our President and General Manager, Honorable Rolando Ledesma Makasayan. Privileged to host today's Stakeholders Dialogue is yours truly, Juana Luriponte of GSIS Cotabato. At this point, let us begin our time together with a prayer. My colleagues, Mr. Sayed Baragir will lead us with a Muslim prayer, and Ms. Donalyn Pe, Ms. Fiona Ferreira, and Ms. Jennifer Gentilla will lead us with a Christian prayer. May I request everyone, wherever you are, to please stand as we invoke God's presence in our midst. After the prayer, please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem. Let us put ourselves in the presence of our Lord.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki yaumiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin.
Pulas. Ano itong sa mute?
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever.
Mahinay sa volume.
Bayang magiliw, peres ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisiil. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simulan, sa langit mong pagkaw, manilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap na watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagdinigin, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidinig. Lupa ng araw ng walhati pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Thank you. You may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, today's stakeholders dialogue is being conducted inclusive of GSIS General Santos and Cotabato branch offices. Let us get to know these branch offices by taking a virtual tour from General Santos to Cotabato. Let's watch this. Thank you. We now move on acknowledgement of our participants. For the information of everyone, we are now more than 300 participants in this Zoom meeting. To formally acknowledge our distinguished guests and participants, may we invite the branch manager of Cotabato branch office, manager by Serenea B. Aquino, and the branch manager of General Santos branch office, manager Rosalinda G. Mendoza. Managers?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. A wonderful morning to all. For Cotabato, we would like to acknowledge the presence of all heads of agencies, ministers, regional directors, municipal mayors, principals, electronic remittance handlers, pensioners, Cotabato and GenSan branch officers and staff, and to all my fellow public servants. It is also my honor to acknowledge the presence of Attorney Nabil Tan, Member of Parliament, Bangsamoro Transition Authority, and Director of Civil Service for BARM, Maribel Alejo. Thank you for being with us today, and we hope that you will have a meaningful day ahead.
Magandang GenSan, we would like to express our cordial thanks to all who are around to make this virtual dialogue a success. With much pleasure to all our agencies, authorized officers, ERF handlers, Understock Sergeant, and gladly acknowledge the 287 participants with 21 heads of offices for generously sharing their time and later on their inputs and comments for the success of this dialogue. With special mention to our pensioners who are here, kaway-kaway po, kay Ma'am Adelina Reganit, representing the Sarangani retired teachers, Ma'am Gloria Ledesma from South Cotabato, Ma'am Digna Gonzalez representing CGO GenSan, and we would also like to acknowledge our top executives who are here today, headed by PGM Rolando Macasaet, Trustee Kahar Macasayon, EVP Nora Malubay, SVP Jason Teng, and our very own VP Vilma Fuentes. We are grateful too for the presence of our distinguished guests, Attorney Lot Morando of the Corporate Secretary, and VP Melissa Españo of CATS, or Corporate Affairs Technical Staff. Lastly, the presence of the generals of GSIS GenSan Branch Office. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, managers. Now, I feel elated to introduce our first speaker. If one takes a closer look at the alchemy of this achieving person, two distinct virtues arise besides perseverance and hard work. These are pioneering spirit and willingness. Coupled with an impressive background, it was not therefore surprising that he became a devoted public servant and served as the national president of the Philippine Public School Teachers Association since 2013. His leadership ability in the public school over the past 32 years led to the improvement of the human resource structure and efficient management of the district educational system. Our speaker holds a master's degree and doctorate in educational management. His latest post-retirement is the establishment of the Dato Kahar Makasayod Elementary School for the indigenous children of Lake Cebu in Sultan Kudarat, scheduled to operate hopefully in February 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, may we call on our speaker who will formally welcome our participants and the panel of executives, a man of virtue and simplicity, Trustee Dr. Kahar B. Makasayon Alhaj.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Joanna, for a very kind introduction. So to each and everyone, our very own President and General Manager of the Government Service Insurance System, Honorable Rolando Ledesma Macasait, the executives of the GSIS, EVP Nora Malubay, SVP Jason Teng, VP Vilma Fuentes, our two managers, our two lady managers of both General Santos City, Manager Rosalinda Mendoza, and of course, Manager by Serenia Aquino there. I have visited only once your office. To our dear stakeholders from the different line agencies of the national government, whom I cannot really mention your name one by one because it's very difficult in this virtual conference. I cannot recognize all of you. Of course, our local government executives, I have heard the name of Attorney Nabil Tander, who used to be our former Regional Vice Governor of the 10 autonomous region of Muslim Mindanao. Of course, coming from the head of offices of our independent units, from the high schools, from the different high schools of Region 12. To each and everyone, good morning. I think I have only given 5 minutes here. So time is of essence here because baka later on, as we are discussing very important matters, bigla lang mag-brown out, wala, mapapatay yung ating engagement. So today, I am very thankful for BP Bilma, of course, with the approval of PGM Rolly Magasaid, for having this very important occasion of this Region 12 cluster dialogue and meeting, wherein the most important part of it is the question and answer portion. So I do want to have some announcement, but nevertheless, I have seen here that our PGM will be talking later on lengthily. So I am hopeful that instead of me announcing, siya na lang mag-announce ng kung ano ang happening in GSIS now. But I'm happy to note that as a person coming from Region 12 and from the academy myself, as a former superintendent, I am very happy that I think noong division superintendent ako, ang daming problema sa GSIS, pero sa ngayon, na-reduce po to the minimum. Of course, pinapasalamatan ko po yung ating current executives at saka ang ating PGM and the current Board of Trustees for their very automatic sila. They are very, very sensitive to the issues and problems of our dear members and pensioners of this country. To each and everyone, hindi ko na patagalin kasi alam ko na mahaba pa ang ating dapat pag-usapan natin sa Q&A portion. So, to each and everyone, good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Maguindanao noon ako, coming from Coronadal City. I've been a superintendent. I've been a superintendent of Sultan Kudarat, Kidapawan City, and Coronadal City before I retired. So, taga dito po ako sa Region 12. Dito ako pinanganak. So, to each and everyone, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning.
Happy to meet.
Peace be to all.
Thank you, Trustee Makasayan, for your enlightening and inspiring message to all of us to serve better. At this juncture, may I give this time to the Jason Byrne of GSIS, a CPA, a lawyer, a man of action who rose from the ranks, a true blue gentleman. Please welcome the Senior Vice President for the Visayas Mindanao Operations, Attorney Jason Sitang, to introduce our guest speaker for today.
Una sa lahat, good morning po kay Trustee Kahar Makasayon. Good morning sa lahat ng executives at staff ng GSIS. Sa mga pensioners na nandarito ngayon, good morning din sa lahat ng miyembro ng mga ahensya under the coverage of our GenSan and Cotabato branch offices. And of course, good morning po sa ating guest speaker who I am about to introduce right now. He was elected chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Government Service Insurance System on June 28, 2018. On July 4, 2019, he was designated by the President of the Philippines as concurrent chairman of the board and acting president and general manager of GSIS. As of today po, he is already president and general manager. He is also a director of the Philippine Stock Exchange and has extensive experience in the fields of banking, financial services, and corporate governance, both in the Philippines and abroad. In fact, prior to his stint in GSIS, he served as director of the Asian Infrastructure and Investment Bank in Beijing, China. He was also vice president and general manager of the PNB in Los Angeles, California, and eventually Regional Vice President of PNB for the entire ASEAN region. In the field of corporate governance naman po, our speaker also served as chairman, board director, president, and CEO of various corporations in the Philippines, both in the public and private sector. He served as board director in private business enterprises such as San Miguel Food and Beverage Corporation, Bank of Commerce, PCI Bank, and the Private Infrastructure and Development Corporation, yung PDIC. He also headed a number of GOCCs in the country, such as the PNCC, Skyway Corporation, and Philippine Postal Savings Bank as president and vice chairman. He holds a degree in business economics, cum laude, and a master's degree in business administration, honors program from the University of the Philippines. He likewise completed the executive program on finance of Columbia University in New York and the diploma program on management development of the Harvard Business School in Boston. Our speaker completed his elementary and high school education at the Ateneo de Zamboanga, graduating with top honors as class valedictorian. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to GSIS President and General Manager Rolando Ledesma Makasayan.
Maraming salamat, Jason, for a very kind introduction. Alam niyo po, pabaliktarin ko po kung sinong i-acknowledge ko. Alam niyo, parati po ina-acknowledge yung mga kasama namin, no? Pero dapat siguro po, I want to acknowledge all the government workers, the public school teachers, AAOs, and the pensioners po na naandito. Nalaman ko there are over 300 of us in this stakeholders meeting. Thank you all for being with us and taking part in this stakeholders dialogue. Hindi ko na po kayo kayang i-name lahat ng mga pangalan po ninyo. Pero again, I would like to say welcome to all of you. Of course, next po, I have to acknowledge a dear friend, si Trustee Kahar Makasayon po. Si Trustee Kahar po ang representative ng academe sa GSIS Board of Trustees. Siya po ang pangunahing champion ng mga public school teachers sa board. Maniwala po kayo, pinaglalaban talaga po ni Trustee Kahar lang mga benepisyo po ng mga teachers at of course mga kasama niyang government workers. At alam ko, pensionado na rin si Trustee Kahar. Kaya po talaga inaalagaan niya po kayo. Nais ko rin po batiin ang mga ibang executives po, ang ating Executive Vice President, na matali ko rin akong kaibigan, naging matali ko talaga akong kaibigan, si Executive Vice President Nora Malubay. Yung nagsalita ho a few minutes ago, si Senior VP Jason Teng, hawak niya po ang Visayas at saka ang Mindanao. Si VP Vilma po, ang hawak niya ho ang buong Mindanao region. And hindi ko pa po na-meet ko lang ho sandali ang manager po ng GenSan natin, si Manager Rosalinda Mendoza. Palakpakan naman natin po si Manager Rosalinda Mendoza. Ang manager po ng ating Cotabato branch, si Bay Serinea B. Aquino. At ang sana ho nag-pronounce ako ng tama yung kanyang first name. At saka sa Kitapawan branch manager, Oscar Paul Fortuna. Alam niyo po, kung wala lang COVID po, maniwala kayo na andyan ako. Kasi po, ang totoo po, paborito ko talaga. Diyan ako sa GenSan. Trustee Kahar, sa GenSan ako pupunta kasi mahilig ako sa tuna eh. Alam nyo, I was just watching television and in one of my trips to Japan. Alam nyo po, may competition sa Japan. Pinakamahal na tuna. If I recall correctly, it's called OMA competition, yung OMA. Alam nyo, isang tuna, $2 million. No? Pinakamahal, if I recall, it's $1.76 million or $7.1 million. Alam nyo, kung ako sa GenSan, sino bang manager? Si Rosalinda. Ros, andyan ka? I-google mo yun, Rose, alam mo. I-google mo yun. Alam mo, baka pwede kayo sumali doon. Can you imagine? It's a competition. I don't know if it's, just check it out. My God, I mean, one tuna fish costs $2 million. Do you know how much $2 million is? 100 million pesos. So, tingnan nyo yun, baka pwede kayo sumali ang GenSan, you know, that your help to the city. I don't know if it's just exclusive for Japanese people, but I don't know also if it's just, you can only catch that fish in Japan, but it's tuna. And one piece tuna, I'm not exaggerating, is $2 million, okay? Why don't you check that? That will be interesting, di ba? And if you guys can do that, you can also copy kung hindi ganun kamahal. Baka pwede kayo magkaroon ng competition dyan sa GenSan at maraming Japanese pupunta dyan. So anyway, ibang storya yon. Alam ko na I want to say this to all our pensioners and government personnel are present here today. Kami po sa GSIS, ginagawa po namin ang lahat upang dalawang bagay po, mapadali at sana po, same word naman to, mapadali at mapabilis ang serbisyo namin. We're doing everything po because of this pandemic to bring the best quality service. Alam namin, hirap na hirap kami, yung computer system namin, pero nirarush talaga po namin para maayos, especially during these trying times. Ayaw na ayaw ko pahihirapan ang mga pensioner at ang mga miyembro natin. Gusto ko na maginhawa, uulitin ko, gusto ko maginhawa ang buhay ng mga miyembro namin, lalong-lalo na mga pensioners namin na talagang binigay the best years of their lives to government service. Kaya, aside from making our processes fast and convenient, I also want to provide our members, pensioners, access to cheap credit. Yung mga murang credit po, kasi tulad ng multi-purpose loan, mga computer loan, mga education loan namin. Kasi ayaw at dederechahin ko na kayo, alam ko yung mga ibang guro natin, yung mga ibang empleyado ng gobyerno. At ako kasi po, nung bata ako po, teacher din ako Yun ang unang trabaho ko. 20 years old po, nagtuturo na po ako. At nung pag wala akong pera, umuutang ako sa labas at sinasangla ko rin po yung ATM ko. Pero noong panahon namin po, wala pang ATM. In the 80s, wala pa yung ATM. Nagsisimula pa lang. Pero after a while po, nalaman ko na yung mga ibang kasamahan natin, nagsasangla ng kanilang ATM. Ayaw ko yon kasi kami po ang pinakamababang interes. Maniwala ko kayo sa akin, there is no such thing na mas mababa pa sa GSIS. Yun po nagpaparinig sa inyo na kami 6% lang, 7% lang, 3% lang. Check nyo po kung monthly yun kung monthly yun, pag sinabi sa inyo, kami 1% lang, kami 2% lang. Pero kailangan kong monthly. Pagka monthly yung 2%, ibig sabihin 24% a year po yun. Times 12 parate po. At marami hidden charges yun. Yung mga nakatagong charge. Kaya ingat na ingat po kayo. Huwag po kayo basta-basta maniwala. Uulitin ko po, nobody, and I mean nobody can compete with the low interest of GSIS. I will stake my reputation on that. Okay? So to close po, I just want to say that all these programs and reforms we're doing to make GSIS more accessible and more responsive to your needs. Batid po namin na medyo mahirap ang buhay ngayon, alam namin yon, kaya marami kaming programa para matulungan kayo. But because of this pandemic crisis, at makakaasa po kayo ng nandito lang po kami, ang inyong GSIS para maghatid ng ginhawa at umaalay sa inyo. Again, thank you, Trustee Kahar, for being with us, for your presence. Maraming salamat po sa inyo at iiwanan ko po kayo ngayon. Pero nandito lang ako kasi ang dami kong dokumentong pinipirmahan. Naka-on pa rin po ang computer ko. Pwede nyo ako tanungin ng questions kung meron. Pero po, meron ako mas magaling. Paniwala ko kayo, hindi lang po siya maganda. Magaling din ho siya at hindi siya masungit. Ako po kasi sometimes po hindi ko na alam yung mga ibang detalye. At alam niyo po, hindi na po ako junior. Senior 60 cents na rin po ako. Kaya hindi ako marunong mag-computer. Konti lang ang alam ko. Hindi nga ako marunong mag-Facebook eh. Kaya po, ang pinaka-expert po ang aming pinakamaganda, pinakamabait, at paminsan-minsan estriktong Vice President ng Mindanao, si Ma'am Vilma Fuentes po. Siya po ang talagang tutulong sa inyo. At saka kasama of course, yung mga manager ng 3 branches na nandito. Next year ho, dyan ako, personal ko kayo pupuntahan dyan sa either GenSan or by the way po, napisita ko na rin po yung GenSan. Ang hindi ko lang napuntahan yung Cotabato at Kidapawan. But next year po, bibisita ako dyan. Thank you again and have a great day po. Vilma?
Thank you very much, PGM Honorable Rolando Ledesma Makasayat, for your uplifting message. To present to us the updates and reforms that have been instituted for the benefit of the GSIS members, the star for all season, Vilma, is here with us today. May I give the floor to our Vice President for Mindanao Operations, who is known to have an undisputed advocacy for excellent customer service and hailed by Institute of Solidarity of Asia as ultimate governance warrior. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome VP Vilma L. Fuentes.
Thank you, John. Thank you, PGM. Tinapak mo naman sila na masungit ako minsan. Ladies and gentlemen, namiss po natin ang superstar VP Nora because she is right now on board an international virtual forum representing our PGM kasi si PGM mas gusto niya na kasama kaysa doon sa international forum po. Nasa Cambodia po
VP Vilma.
Hi, Asset.
Chair President Rolly Makasayat, Nabil Tan from Holosulu.
Hi, Mr. Tan, kumusta po kayo? How are you? How are you po?
I'm good. I'm here with Bangsamoro Parliament. We'll have a meeting with Lord Alan Velasco in a while.
Oh, that's great. Sir, alam nyo, I have some classmates there, batchmates ko po. Sila, I don't know, I hope kaibigan nyo rin. But mga kaklase ko po dyan sila Rusty Abubakar. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell anybody pala. I forgot to mention. Hindi ka Mindanao ako, kaya po, basta Mindanao, paraan priority po rin sa akin. Pasensya na kayo eh. Kami mga tayo mga Mindanao.
You are from Zamboanga City.
Yes, I visited Holo many times when I was young.
Yes, sir. Yang pa man hanggang ngayon, yang pa.
Salamat po, salamat.
Hi, Ma'am Vilma. Happy to see you now.
Yes, sir. Thank you po.
You too. Thank you.
Rolly, si Vilma tumulong sa akin sa retirement ko.
Talaga? Pero pag sa akin nyo po sinabi yun, madadagdagan. Pag VP Vilma.
Balik na lang ako. Improve na lang ang pension ko.
Thank you po. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney.
Attorney, thank you.
Okay, as I was saying po, superstar, si EVP Nora Malubay, she is right now attending an international virtual forum representing our PGM and the ASEAN Social Security Association in Cambodia. Nasa Cambodia po siya ngayon in spirit. Anyway, thank you PGM for selecting the stakeholders to be with us today rather than to be in Cambodia. Ganun tayo kamahal ni PGM as gusto niya tayo at ang mga stakeholders. Anyway, for updates about GSIS, we have the new GSIS Ginhawa programs, Ginhawa COVID programs, continuing Ginhawa programs, 2019 GSIS financial standing, and latest Ginhawa digital service information. Ito po yung ating innovations. Ito po yung ating aking i-discuss for 30 minutes siguro. Kaya sit back. The new GSIS Ginhawa programs, we have a multi-purpose loan, GFAL Educational Loan Program, and ang pinaka-mainit na mainit ngayon, ang Computer Loan Program. Yung multi-purpose loan natin, ito po yung replacement ng ating Consul loan. Alam ko na marami na po nag-avail ito. And this is This enables our delinquent borrowers to restructure their due and demandable loan accounts regardless of loan type except housing loan. Ito po ang mga kino-consolidates na mga loan accounts ng ating multipurpose loan. So hindi ko na po ito isa-isahin, pero alam ko naman na most of you nga pinipicturean na po ito ngayon. And consolidation means outstanding balances po of this loan shall be fully liquidated. So kung ano man po yung mga mayroon kayong mga loans na naging dormant, ang magkagandahan lang po dito, first availment, meron po tayong waiver of penalties and surcharges dito sa MPL natin. And ang coverage po natin, of course, active and special GSIS members who have paid at least 3 months. Yung conso loan po dati natin, 20 months na contribution ang kailangan natin. While dito sa multipurpose, 3 months lang na mayroon kayong premium contribution, pwede kayong mag-avail ng MPL. You must not be on leave of absence without pay, have no pending administrative or criminal case, have no arrearages in GFAL or GSIS housing loan account, and working, of course, dapat sinicertify ito ng ating mga AAO na you must be a bona fide employee of your agency, and dapat may existing MOA with GSIS. Kung kayo po ay may MOA na ng GFAL, automatic na po kayo na pwede mag-avail ng MPL. Kung wala pa kayong MOA ng GFAL, kailangan po ang agency ninyo ay magkipag-MOA for MPL in with GSIS. Ang interest rate natin sa multipurpose loan is 7% per annum computed in advance for those with period of premium payment of at least 3 years, and 8% per annum computed in advance also for those with PPP of less than 3 years. Long term, may pagkakaiba po doon sa permanent without term or tenure and non-permanent and permanent with term and tenure. Ito po yun, from 3 years to 7 years ang maximum natin. And for those with non-permanent and permanent with term, ito yung sa mga elective natin, minimum of 2 years and maximum of 5 years. Pero kung, doon sa may mga, na pala lahat din. Kasi may GFAL dati, maabot ng 10 years, all 7 years ang maximum natin na repayment period. And for the loanable amount, yung permanent without tenure, minimum is 1 times your basic monthly salary and with maximum of 14 times basic monthly salary. For non-permanent and permanent with tenure, minimum is 3 times your basic monthly salary. Of course, 20 months po yung ating contribution na kailangan, but not less than 3 years. And 14 times po din ang inyong maximum loanable amount dito. So paano po kayo magpa-file ng multipurpose loan ngayon at this time na pandemic, na maraming bawal na pinagbabawal ng ating local government, that we have to follow the standard health protocols like social distancing. So mayroon po kaming alternative work arrangements sa GSIS, not all the time pwede kayo makapunta din unless may appointment. So ito po yung mga modes of application that you can file: over-the-counter, Dropbox. Lahat po ng GSIS branch natin, meron po tayong Dropboxes, or email to your handling branch. Nasa website po natin ang ating mga email address ng all branches nationwide. And or through eGSIS mo online app. Kung meron po kayong Facebook, mag-download po din kayo ng eGSIS mo. This is where makikita niyo po ang details or whereabouts sa membership nyo sa GSIS 24/7, accessible with all your smartphones. Then, of course, MPL is already have been deployed sa GWAP's kiosk nationwide also. Dati sa central office lang, but now this has been deployed nationwide. The next is the educational loan. Itong educational loan natin, medyo hindi pa po tayo masyado nag-take off. There are few computer glitches na inaayos po natin, although we have received some application. This is our 10-year loan program, but ang qualified po natin dito, those with total length of service of at least 15 years. So remember, 15 years po. Natin na student na pwede nyong i-nominate as your beneficiaries, at least 2 to third degree of consanguinity or affinity. Ito po yung pwede yung mga anak, nephews, nieces, or siblings. And they must be enrolled in undergrad program in private or state college university with maximum study period of 5 years. Maximum yun, 5 years. Kasi sabi ko nga earlier, this is a 10-year loan program. First 5 years, may grace period po tayo habang nag-aaral ang mga anak po ninyo or mga pamangkin ninyo na whoever will be your beneficiary, wala po kayong babayaran during the first 5 years habang nag-aaral sila. Pag nag-graduate, halimbawa 4-year course lang yung anak ninyo, we give you 1 more year na grace period, and after 5 years, doon na po mag-uumpisa ang inyong monthly amortization. So, of course, this is payable to the school. Dahil dapat meron po kayong statement of account. Kahapon kasi may kausap lang ako, akala niya na payable to our member. This is payable to the school with maximum of 100,000 loanable amount annually. So kung ang tuition fee ng anak ninyo is umaabot po ng 150,000 a year, ang inyo pong ma-avail lang is 100,000 a year. Ito po yung maximum natin. Kung anak nyo naman po ay may 52,000 lang na tuition fee, then yun lang po yung ma-avail ninyo dahil yun ang actual na amount, yung 52,000. So ang interest po nito is 8% per annum capitalized. The next, na po ito na payable to the institution or the school of the beneficiary. Ito po yung pinakabago at mainit-init pa na ginhawa loan programs natin, which is the computer loan. Ang feature po nito, 30,000 ang amount. This is a one-time loan program that we are giving you for 6 months. 6 months lang po ang duration nito. Kaya yung mga hindi pa po nag-a-avail, remember, after 6 months, mawawala po na po ito na loan program namin. This is 3 years to pay, 6% interest. Implemented right now, naka-over the counter pa po yung filing natin. Wala pa po ito, hindi pa na-deploy sa GWAPs. Maybe next year, ma-deploy na sa GWAPs. But some for AAO, and I know dyan sa Mindanao, marami po tayong AAO who are helping us. Batch po ang pag-file nila instead of their employees going there one by one. Nagpa-batch filing po sila since sila naman po ang last stop because manual pa po ang kanilang AAO certification nito. Again, this is a one-time loan to help permanent members to purchase a computer-related connectivity requirements. Pwede pong computer, kung nakabili na po kayo ng computer, pwede pa kayo mag-avail, inform nyo lang po si AAO na nakabili ka na ng computer for the reports. Or any peripherals, baka gusto nyo pa ng mga headset, yung whatever connectivity requirements para po makapag-computer, makagamit kayo ng computer. This is in response to the call of the President of the Philippines to help our government employees and students na maka-cope under the new normal. Dahil sa new normal po natin, kagaya ngayon, nag-Zoom meeting na tayo, alam ko na kailangan natin ng mga computers. Without the computers, hindi po tayo makakapag-live, do a virtual conference like this. Okay, so sa mga other GSIS ginhawa COVID program, ito po yung respond din ng GSIS during pandemic, loan moratorium. We granted you nung March, April, and May. March and May. And then this last 2 months under the Bayanihan Act 2, wala po tayong bawas sa mga loan ninyo for the month of November and December. So 5 months po yan total na loan moratorium under Bayanihan Act 1 and 2. Then, in-hand emergency loan, this is still ongoing. In-extend po namin ito and it's still ongoing until the end of this year. Then we have the Bayanihan Fund for Frontliners and the contact claims and benefits. For loan moratorium, sabi ko nga earlier, 4 months na moratorium from March to June. 4 months, naging total of 6 months kasi March to June under Bayanihan 1 and 2 months in November and December. Pati po yung pensioners po natin kasama po sila sa naka-avail ng loan moratorium. Ito po yung mga loans covered, Conso loan, CIFAL, and lahat ng loans. So makikita niyo wala pong deduction. Even our pensioners, this na nakuha nila yung pension po nila, buong-buo po, wala pong bawas ang kanilang pension. Yung COVID emergency loan, as I was saying earlier, ongoing po ito until the end of the year. And from 20, it was increased to 40 with the intention that lahat po ng ating government employees will be availing this. May net sila na 20,000 from emergency loan. And then, of course, binaba po din natin yung requirement from 20 months. Ito, kung may 3 months lang po kayo na paid premiums prior to application date instead of the 6 months before, pwede na pong mag-apply. And of course, responding again to the health protocols, we provide you different platforms, and one of which is the contact claims and benefits. Pwede po kayo mag-file postal mail and or delivery courier. Dito lang po sa claims filing natin dahil kailangan po natin ang original. But since this is a 20 working days po ang processing natin, on the first day na gusto niyo po mag-file, kung hindi kayo mag-go over the counter, you want to email us your application, i-drop nyo sa drop boxes namin or through a GSIS mo. Pagkatapos niyo po mag-electronic send ng inyong application, send it via postal mail or via courier. Para ma-receive namin in time na before the 20 days, ma-receive po namin ang inyong application because we cannot do the last move na, which is the e-crediting without the original application. Kailangan po namin both for GFile, yung mga GFile application natin, GFile EL and GFile 1 with top up, and the claims application. But other loan application, you can file it through our digital platforms. And additional ginawa for pensioners po, dahil naintindihan namin, lalo yung mga 65 years old na hindi na sila pwedeng lumabas or hindi pa pinapalabas. So hindi na po sila mag-worry doon sa annual pensions information revalidation. They can transact online via Skype, Viber, or FB Messenger. So yun po. Hindi na po, again, ulitin ko, nung this month, December, kahit po nag-birthday kayo noong July, August, September, October, November, wala po tayong suspension ng pensioner. Dahil hanggang this year, December, nag-credit po tayo ng pension kahit po nag-birthday kayo. Pero hindi po namin sinasabi na wag na po kayo mag-appear para hindi po kayo maka-inconvenient next year. We invite you to tumawag po any contact number ng GSIS na makikita nyo sa website dahil i-refer na lang po kayo doon sa handling branch ninyo. Or we can even handle ang iba nga pag nag-live kayo ng Viber or FB, in-screenshot na lang po nila and we are collaborating with other branches or yung handling branch niyo. So panawagan po natin sa ating mga pensioners, please, comfort of your home, kung meron po kayong smartphone, yung mga anak po ninyo or po, sabihin nyo lang po, we can conduct electronic or online appear. You don't have to go to GSIS. And by the way, announce ko lang po hindi pa kumuha ng mga cash gift nila at ng kanilang December pension. Both are credited na po since yesterday. Yung cash gift po natin, last Saturday po yun na-credit. And Bayanihan Fund for Frontliners. Yan po namin ang pinagdadaanan. Pinaintindihan po ng ating board, ng ating top management, kung anong pinagdadaanan ng ating mga pamilya na na-COVID. So we have this BFF or Bayanihan Fund for Frontliners on top ng binibigay ng ating pamahalaan na 1 million. GSIS providing 500,000 po para sa pamilya ng ating mga frontliners who succumbed to COVID-19. And meron na po kami mga nabayaran nito. Of course, hindi naman natin ini-encourage Pero if ever happen, may nandiyan po ang GSIS giving you 500,000 on top GSIS, regular GSIS benefits, and the life insurance death claim. And ito na yung GFA. Ito, selling like hotcake din natin ito. Maraming nagtatanong at marami pang hindi pa nga nag-a-avail. Siguro nagbabalak pa lang mangutang para matubos natin sa lending kasi marami na nag-request ng extension and nag-grant naman po tayo ng board natin. Until December 2021, next year po extended po yung ating GFAL. As usual, it's the same amount, 6% per annum computed in advance and fixed at ang term po natin na 6 years na term. For member borrowers whose total outstanding loans from lending institutions to be applied or have been applied under GFAL have not reached the maximum amount of 500,000, pwede po niyong i-top up yung balanse. Halimbawa po, 300,000 lang yung lending nyo, makukuha nyo pa rin yung 200,000 yung as part of the top-up loan. At picture po natin sa GFAL, dati po, 3-month payslip requirement po tayo. And now, it's only 1 month from date of application na payslip ang kailangan natin. Paano mag-apply atin via email or drop boxes, but as I was saying earlier, kailangan po din namin yung original application natin na makarating sa GSIS bago po namin i-release ang inyong top-up checks or yung check ng PLI. Ito na po yung na-grant natin ng GSIS since we launched in May 2018. This is sub-September 2020 data. 6.67 billion to 238,878 members. And for our financial standings sa GSIS, ito po yung income, 96.47 billion. This is of December 2019 as of last year and audited as of December 2019 with assets of 1.31 trillion. Actuarial life po natin is hanggang 2041 or 23 years. Claims and paid, umabot na po tayo sa 122.37 billion. Rest assured that going strong po ang GSIS kahit po yung youngest government employee na nandito ngayon nag-attend o nakakarinig sa atin over Facebook, I assured pa po na you will be having your pension for life dahil napaka-strong po ang ating pension fund. Ano po yung mga innovations natin? Ito po yung mga latest ginhawa or GSIS ginhawa latest digital innovations, GTouch. Kung hindi pa po kayo nagda-download ng GTouch, kung may tingnan nyo lang po sa app natin, kung may mga smartphones, you can download the GSIS Touch. Ano ba yung mayroon yung GSIS Touch ng e-GSIS mo? Nandun din po yung branch directory. Nandun din po ang ating GMVCPX or the GSIS Motor Vehicle Claims Processing System. Nasa touch po natin. So if mag-download po kayo nun, very convenient, the comfort of your home, anytime, anywhere, you can transact or even file your loan application via the e-GSIS mo, which is accessible through the GTouch. Ito pong mobile app ng ating motor vehicle. Pag po kayo ay naka-encounter na accident sa daan, madali na lang po mag-report agad-agad sa GSIS if your vehicle is covered under GSIS insurance. Innovation, digital innovation is the GSIS housing loan payment or the GHAP. Ito po yung may mga housing loan. Pag magbabayad po kayo through your mobile app via Union Bank, hanapin lang po, ando na yung Union Bank. 24/7 po tayo. Pa-turn off lang po yung mic natin. 24/7 at the comfort of your home, pwede na po kayo magbayad ng inyong GSIS housing loan. And another digital innovation, ito po yung ating first ever electronic citizen charter dubbed as GTAP or GSIS or Guide to Transaction and Processes. Very handy po guide for loans. Dito po ang GSIS ay naka-award po ng International Stevie Award na silver dahil sa innovations, electronic citizen charter. Naka-deploy na po kami ng same screen touch nationwide. Lahat po ng branches natin ay mayroon na pong ganito. Coming in 2021, para po dun sa clamor na magbayad sa mga bayad center, ito na po ang sagot sa mga inyong mga kahilingan. The GSIS acceptance of direct payments for GSIS individual loans through external payment service providers or bayad centers. Applicable po ito para sa mga gusto mag-advance payment kahit po mayroon kayong, halimbawa may mga regular deductions na gusto niyo magbayad ng advance. And then accounts with underpayment, delayed or no payment, members ng accounts po in default, inactive po at hindi pa po nababayad, yung bayad, anywhere na mayroon po tayong bayad center ay pwede na po. This will be 2021. And of course, sa mga ibang pagbabago na buksan lang po natin ang ating website www.gsis.gov.ph. So para po updated kayo sa lahat ng nangyayari sa GSIS. And lahat ng branches po natin ay may mga sarili-sariling email addresses where you can send your electronic application or you can transact electronically. And ito, mayroon po tayong call center, or we also have our GSIS cares at gsis.gov.ph and ating pong GSIS Facebook page. Na nandito po. Alam po, nag-picture na po kayo. You can contact us anytime. With that, hindi na po ako hindi ko na po habayin. Tapos naman anyway, we'll proceed to our Q&A. Ito po yung pinaka-importante na part ng ating stakeholders today. Thank you.
Thank you, VP Fuentes, for sharing to us the initiatives and reforms undertaken by the GSIS. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are opening the floor for your questions. May we invite Ms. Marlene Doliano to assist us.
Thank you, Ma'am Joanne. Good morning, everyone. We are now at the most awaited part of our program, the audience participation or a question and answer portion. But before everything else, my sound na iba. Before everything else, I would like to lay down our house rules for the smooth flow of our communication. May I remind everyone to check on your mic in a mute mode and click only the raise the hand icon when you wanted to speak. Or you may write your question in our chat box and we will read it for you. You may use our dialect or a vernacular form is also allowed when you wanted to convert. Okay, I have the first issue of the day. It is from our DANR Coronel and AAO Manuel Luxin, and I read. The arrears of some personnel when they are still casual employees in the DA and regional office remain unsettled. Some, if not all, these employees attempted to settle the employees' share of the arrears, but the present system of the GSIS prevents the crediting of deductions. The problem stems from the difference in the billing of the GSIS and the employee's remittance because the indicated daily rate of the casual employee are not fixed and are dependent on the number of days of work of the employee. The matter was also raised in previous stakeholders forum, and this problem is common to other government offices. Ito po yung tanong ni Ma'am Manuela Luxin.
Yung Marlene, I guess yung something internal on the part kasi ang settlement po ng premiums ng mga casual employees nila ay depende yung kung may budget na po sila, which is Public Act 8291, compulsory po ang coverage natin sa mga casual employees effective June 24. So, I guess it's more internal. I would encourage yung nag-question DNR with the BCU of the handling branch. Magkaroon kayo ng reconciliation, mag-reconciliation forum po kayo. Yun na yun. Baka tinatanong po niya din yung computation dahil dun sa on a daily basis po yung kanilang salary. Tama? Hindi yes. Paano ba ko computing? Alam yun ng ating mga BCO. It will be handled. Okay? And Marlene, i-remind yung audience, you can go on live. Feel free. Mag-ano lang po kayo.
GSIS GenSan says BCU. the answer says we already have emailed the AAO and the ERF handler advising them to download the list of members with unpaid premiums from their kindly mute your mic, please.
Pag-ulang pag-usapan na lang with the debating section ng na GenSan kindly take charge of that query kasi it concerns about the contribution ng mga casual employees.
Yes.
Okay, any live question, Marlene?
Do we have any questions live? They have questions in the chat box only, ma'am. And there is also questions from GenSan National High School and PCA. They have common question regarding their some of our teachers or employees are not yet refunded. So they are referring to the refund during the moratorium period. And we have this answer that we already have sent letters to the AAO, the list of members with refund. Do we still have questions alive?
Alam ko na you still need validation for Tabato branch and GenSan branch. It is true with the previous stakeholders ganito din yung mga issues. Kung naman lang po ang antay ng refund, nila nakita na na-credit na pala sa kanilang account or hindi qualified. Kasi meron tayong qualification na dapat ng arrearages and underpayment as of February of 2020. Kaya kung may arrears po kayo, may remittance ng March, hindi refund sa inyo. At kung may underpayment po din, hindi yun marirefund. Pag may pinabasa siya na may arrears kayo as of February, hindi po marirefund sa inyo. Baka po nag-i-expect sila ng refund na wala pala. So may I encourage our branches to please validate and run through the list and inform your respective agency in case lang na nag-aantay sila at hindi pala entitled. Mahal natin mga stakeholders din na nakikinig, check po kung nag-arrears lang kayo ng March, February, baka may arrears po kayo prior to February. Yun po yung ating qualification para mag-qualify sa refund. Ini-invite ko rin yung ating executive partner if you wish to talk and to answer the questions, please feel.
Hello, VP.
Hello po.
Yes. Si
Sarangani po, ma'am.
Sarangani. Yes, ma'am.
Yes po, good morning po.
Good morning.
Si Jenny po ito, AAO ng DPWH Sarangani, ma'am.
Hi, Ma'am Jenny.
Hello po. Ang pinaka-concern ko po, ma'am, is regarding doon sa WebMSP.
May membership po dapat. Sige, go ahead.
Yes po, updating po ng membership. Nahirapan po ako, ma'am, since I think matagal na po na nag-trouble ang aking WebMSP. Tapos ngayon nag-aano ako doon sa concern kay Sir Beran. Oo, sa Manila. Ilang beses na rin ako nag-email sa kanya. Until now, hindi pa rin naayos. Meron siyang sa akin, ma'am, advice na baka daw. Kasi every time na nag-open ako ng WebMSP ko, ang nag-prompt doon is multiple logins. So, gina-close ko siya yung previous logins. Pero ganun pa rin po. How many times na ako nag-log out, ganun pa rin po. So, ang advice niya sa akin is mag-clear cache daw ako sa Google Chrome. Ginawa ko na rin po many times din. Pero until now, hindi pa rin naayos. Madami na po akong nakapending, ma'am, na mga updating kasi may mga bago kaming applicants na mga empleyado na employ, na appoint. Mga I think 9 sila, and then meron din akong updating sa mga employees yung nag-step increment. But until now, hindi ko pa rin magawa-gawa, ma'am. And then December na po, patapos na po ang taon.
Ma'am Jenny,
yes,
may
po.
membership po tayo dito, membership team. Baka pwede may work around para kay Ma'am Jenny habang may technical problem siya sa kanyang computer. Anybody from membership?
We have already referred the case kay Manager Elmer Baguio just this morning. Specifically kay Mr. Beran.
May taga-membership ba tayo na nandyan? Anyway, Ma'am Jenny, kung right now, sa pagkatapos po nito, babalik kita. I will ask membership if they can do some work around habang sa WebMSP. Okay po?
Yes po.
Ang
Thank you so
updating,
much.
meron naman pong work around yan. Iko-force to the branch na lang natin kung hindi po access ng WebMSP. Okay po, Ma'am Jenny?
Yes po. Yes
Okay,
po, ma'am.
sige.
Thank you so much.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Ma'am Jenny. Thank you. And
Thank you
the
po,
next
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. From Marvel National High School, Chadi Nambong. She is asking about the delayed issuance of UMID card of employees. What is the reason?
Ito namang UMID card, meron po tayong meron tayong bangko, dalawa po yung bangko natin, lahat ng bank. Ano bang UMID ang kanyang inaasal? Is it the UMID EMV, a replacement of the magnetic stripes, or is this a new UMID? Kasi meron po tayong UMID na...
Matagal talaga.
Excuse me, allow me to interrupt. Allow me to interrupt. This is
Yes, sir.
Makasayan. Alam
Yes,
mo,
sir.
Ma'am Vilma, nawawala ka. So I think, patayin mo muna yung video mo. Just to kasi tsaka na B, yung napuputol ka B, hindi ka masyado naintindihan. I-check mo lang B, ha? Yung video, wag yung mute, yung video. Patayin mo yung video mo, wag ang, ayan. Subukan mo nga,
Actually, sir, nandito ako, nag-invade ako ng command center ng Emergency Operating Unit Center 100 Mbps. In-invade ko yung opisina dito ng province kasi dito.
Subukan mo yan, ha?
Right now ba, okay. Hindi na ako putol-putol po. Hello?
Hello? Can you hear Vilma? Can you hear VP Vilma? Pakisagot sa kanya.
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear, okay.
Loud and clear. Narinig niyo ako, naka-microphone pa rin ako. Okay.
No, wala.
Clear ba? How about...
Choppy po, ma'am.
Anyway, while waiting, inaayos ko yung aking microphone. Anybody from the executive panel to take over the answers sa UMID card? Ayusin ko lang yung microphone.
Okay po yung OP Agricultural High School, Ma'am Joanna Riponte. Papasok po siya. Live video.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning po. I am Jennifer Casimina, AAO of UP Agricultural School. I have 3 concerns po. Before my concerns, ma'am, I'd like to thank GSIS Cotabato for facilitating the status of our employee who had an erroneous entry on our membership sa MSP po. My concerns are the following po. Number 1 po, yung bayad center payment po ba the same day ang crediting? Tapos number 2 po, about financial literacy seminar of GFAL. Paano po yon i-certify pa na naka-attend siya or naka-view siya ng YouTube literacy seminar. At number 3 po, kailangan po ba ng picture sa computer loan report? Hindi ko po kasi masyado na-capture yung sa computer loan report, monthly report po. Thank you po.
Okay.
Cotabato,
Marlene?
Can you answer the question
Marlene?
from... Yes, ma'am.
Nasagot na po yung UMID.
I'm alive. Hello, Cotabato. Can you answer the UP Agricultural School?
For the question, ang first question is the bayad center. That would still be in place. So, ang ano po is kung kailan kayo nagbayad, yun din yung date ng offer natin. For the second question,
Financially
once you watch the YouTube, automatic na siya mag-generate ng certificate. We have provided link for that. I can provide you the link immediately para automatic na po, pag nag-file siya, pwede niya nang i-attach yung certificate na nag-attend siya ng financial literacy. And for the third question, yes, it is required na kailangan may picture. Member picture holding the ID. Clear po?
Ma'am Nay, clarification yung sa computer loan po, yung actual ba na nabili nila na gadget or computer, laptop or desktop?
No need for the picture of that. List lang po kung ano yung binili nila. You just need to submit the list.
Okay. Thank you po. That would be all.
You're welcome.
Natagot na ba yung UBID issue kanina? Did anybody answer? Yung bakit matagal? Hello? Hello?
Wala pa pong
SVP,
sagot.
bakit daw po matagal yung
Narinig
cards?
ako, ano? Yung UMID, as I was saying, sa mga bangko, ang tanong ko, ano ba yung UMID ang inaantay ng ating members? Is it the EFT compliant as a replacement of the magnetic structure? Or is it a new? Mas pagbago, medyo yun ang ano natin, mas mabilis naman. Pero yung sa magnetic, hindi natin control. Dapat na si bangko mag-release noon, but we can always assist kung may kailangan. Pakuha lang ng details nung may issue ng UMID card. Pakuha yung pangalan and then balikan yung mamaya to clarify. Anong branch yun? Gigi, sa inyo ba?
Anong branch? Pwedeng pa-email na lang po directly sa akin.
Anong branch?
Yung nag-question po kanina, pwedeng pa-email na lang po directly rgmendoza@gsis.gov.ph.
Okay, sige. Proceed.
All right, we also have a question from Ma'am Elda Racadio. Ma'am, are you online?
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Ma'am Elda.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Loud and clear.
Yes, ma'am. Blessed morning po. Ma'am, kasi back to MPL.
Yes.
Number one question, I have two questions anyway. Number one is, tungkol sa MPL, is it reloanable, renewable? And then another question is, tungkol dun sa EBCS login, we find it hard to log in, lalo na pag wala kami sa office. Kasi during these times, most of the times, nasa bahay, so ang hirap mag-log in.
Okay. Sa question po, ma'am, ang MPL, yes, it is renewable. Yan po ang kapalit ng ating konsulong. Renewable po siya. As long as may proceeds. As long as may proceeds po kayo or qualified po kayo dahil meron kayong capacity. Yun ang ating para ma-approve ng AAO at capacity. Di ba meron tayong Operation Act requirement na 5,000? As long as kaya pa po ng payroll po, ng sweldo po ng empleyado, they can renew the MPL. Yung second question nyo po, yung sa EBCS, lahat naman po tayo, may net connection problem po yung tinutukoy po ninyo dahil sa connection problem. Actually, everybody is experiencing that connection problem. Pero kahapon po may narinig ako sa news, sa PNN, parang nag-i-improve daw ang Pilipinas ng connectivity. Sana nga po. Dahil wala nga din ako sa opisina, dito ako sa ibang opisina para magkaroon ng magandang connectivity.
Okay.
Sige po, ma'am.
Thank you. Keep safe.
You're welcome. You're welcome po. Next question.
VP, we also have a question coming from LGU GenSan. Good morning po. Question po regarding GWAPS kiosk. Kailan po pwede mapalitan kasi sira ang sa agency namin? Naayos naman po ng technician pero di pa rin nagpa-function most of the time. Thanks po.
Okay. Gusto niya please pa-coordinate na lang Mr. Mendoza na ma-coordinate nila sa IT natin yung replacement. Kasi inaayos naman daw pero most of the time please coordinate with IT about the replacement.
VP, with regards sa kiosk ng CGO GenSan, This was already referred time and again kay Manager Manila. In fact, meron na ito siyang ticket number. So they are still waiting for the replacement kasi ang sira dito yung no signal sa kanilang kiosk. So nai-refer na po namin sa all card.
I hope the no signal hindi yun sa connectivity again kasi dependent din tayo dun sa signal nila, di ba? Yung internet connection. But anyway, sige po. GenSan, we will look into that and see very active po yung IPO natin dyan sa GenSan. Sa number na we will be collaborating.
Okay, moving on. Santo Niño National High School, Saravia National High School, Tupi District, NIA SKIMO, LGU Tangtangan, LGU Tupi, and Darparo. They all have common question regarding loan years reflected in GSIS loan, but teachers and employees were religiously deducted. Bakit po may arrears?
Okay, itong arrearages dahil sa moratorium, as we have been answering previous questions in the previous statement po natin, ang ating loan program are configured as such talaga po na mag-a-appear sila. Though inaayos na po ng ITSD yan, na for the meantime, habang po na mag-aayos ng ating IT, for po talaga yung mga March, April, May na fund natin yung payment nyo due to the moratorium, mag-a-appear sila as arrearages. However, hindi naman po sila babasahin dapat pag nag-avail kayo ng loan and wala po tayong penalty dyan. Mananatili lang ISO for the meantime. Kumbaga third line na lang na hindi arrears. Although nandiyan, it's just maybe a reminder na extended po ang repayment ang term na because of the moratorium. Hindi naman po ibig sabihin na moratorium tayo na that particular one ay wala bayad. Babayaran natin, extended lang po siya. Oo. Iba po yung, kanina nakita ko meron doon sa chat box, hindi daw sila maka-avail ng computer loan dahil may mga arrearages. At this is another arrears na binabasa. Lahat po ng concern na kung ang arrears po ay only those during the moratorium ayos po yan ang TSC natin. I-email nyo lang po sa ating mga team. They are the one doing the work around for.
Thank you, VP. We also have a question from MGB12 from Sir Jeffrey Padilla about Web MSP. First question, bakit nag-error yung result after ma-download yung feedback ng GSIS sa Form E? Second question, pa-update po ako status si Dimple Macagba for change of last name. From February pa po ako nag-submit. Salamat po.
Wala tayong taga-membership dito sa forum na to. But note yung concern na yan, kanino yan? GenSan?
From GSIS Cotabato.
Cotabato. Pa-take note and then pa-email kay Manager Elmer. In the day, pasagot lang yung mga issue nila.
Yes, VP, if I would add, when we conducted yung orientation about the new loans, nakapag two schedules, nag-coordinate na ako kay Manager Elmer and he agreed na we can conduct another training for Web MSP update for Cotabato. So sabi ko, tapusin lang yung stakeholder dialogue, then we proceed with the training for the whole Cotabato para yung questions nila, MG will be there to directly answer their concerns po.
Yes, ma'am. Naka-schedule sa atin. Next week yata, ma'am, ano?
Hi, Manager Elmer.
Hello po, ma'am. Good morning po.
Oh, good to see you. May mga katanungan kanina. Baka pwede kong balikan 1, 2, 3 ang tanong para magkaroon ng clarity. Thank you for looping in. Thank you for looping in. Okay.
Thank you po.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, we have question from Ferdinand Ferrer of the local water district of General Santos. If there is no remittance of loan during the due month, is it possible to double the amount due in the next month of the remittance period.
Payments. Dodoble niya yung bayad niya, ibig niya sabihin?
Yes, ma'am.
Wala tayong limit dyan. Yes. Pwede sila mag-double payment to fully pay the account ng mas mabilis. Mas mabilis. Malaki binabayad mo, mas maliit na mag-charge na interest.
Yes, you can pay more than required.
What is
premium.
required, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Hindi pwede yung premium,
Yes.
Correction. Na-mention mo yung premium. Yung premium
Loan
kung
lang
anong
po.
binibill. Yung loan lang. Loan lang.
Oh, yes. Next question is from NFA Regional Office 12, Rodora Blanca Flor. Unposted remittance of loan repayment as reflected in the GSIS mo, especially August 2020 remittance. Why is that so? There are unposted loan payments.
With payments?
Loan payments are reflected in GSIS mo.
Loan payments.
Maybe by the time they opened their GSIS mo, it was not yet uploaded.
Pa-verify na lang natin, Mel. Pakuha na lang ng pangalan, Mel. Pa-verify natin ang latest status niya.
The list from NFA Region 12, we are requesting the list of personnel whose payments were not uploaded. No. Okay, from PCIC Region 12 and DPWH Sarangani and Tampakan, they share the same problem regarding their web MSP access. There are problems encountered that we cannot upload our Form C at web MSP. I think this was already discussed kanina.
Maybe Manager Elmer, we can do another round of hands-on or info dissemination regarding the use of web MSP. Because right now, the need to update the email addresses of our employees and contact numbers, majority of our DepEd employees, sila lang yung updated ang kanilang email. But for other agencies, they are still using different name every time they follow up for a certain transaction. And maybe we could also suggest to better use a Gmail account than a Yahoo account kasi medyo saturated na rin yung Yahoo natin. Siguro that will
Yes,
be
ma'am.
part of our another round of info.
Yes, ma'am, we will do that. So, next week siguro nakaschedule kami kay area ni Manager Aquino. Then sunod siguro natin, ma'am. Yun sa'yo. Yes po, as suggested by VPV, and ginawa nga namin kaagad, we sent an email to all AAOs requesting for the updating of the email addresses of the members as well as the AAO themselves kasi may problema na tayo talaga sa Yahoo eh. Yung email natin hindi natin mare-receive at saka yung email din natin sa kanila regarding important matters sa mga AAOs hindi din nila natatanggap. So ma'am Gigi, ma'am Nea, since Yahoo nga ang gamit nitong identified na AAOs na nag-gather ko last week, siyempre nung in-email namin sila to change, to migrate to Gmail, hindi nga yata din nila nare-receive yung email namin. So I hope the branch can help us also ask the AAOs to change to Gmail. Kasi parang forever na talaga ang Yahoo problema eh. So marami naman ang nag-comply doon sa DepEd kasi sila yung agencies na binigyan talaga ng sariling email address, yung corporate email nila. So when we started requesting the DepEd for updating of email address of the members and the AAOs, ang bilis ng nila. Sila ang pinakamataas na compliance doon. But the other agencies, thank you Ma'am Bidoon.
Tama
So,
yan,
ang taas
Manager
ng
Elmer. Dapat
compliance.
.gov.ph po yung gamitin natin. If you want na mas mabilis ang transaction ninyo electronically, gamitin po natin yung mga corporate or mga official email addresses natin when transacting with GSIS.
Yes, ma'am. Ang taas ng compliance ng DepEd, sila ang pinakamaraming binigyan ng ano, ma'am na sila talaga yung may sariling email address na personal email address.
Galing.
Corporate.
Oo, thank you for that.
Although ma'am, nagdadalawang isip din sila Joey, yung membership coordinator natin, Mr. Beran. Kasi from time to time din, nagkakaproblema din yung Gmail. Meron ding 3 weeks ago na nag-conk out din yung Gmail. But of course, bumalik naman kaagad. Yung Yahoo talaga hindi. So, sana magawa na natin. Mag-Gmail na tayo. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Elmer.
Yes,
Ms. Joanna, do you have some questions?
Actually, this is not a question, but a suggestion from Ma'am Mary Ann Docolos or Docos. Ma'am. She's actually requesting VP if we can add the latest payslip as one of the requirements in availing computer loan, if it's possible.
Actually, kasi si Ma'am is an AAO. Actually, sa pag-certify nila, nagma-manually certify sila kasi hindi pa naman nakaano sa AAO online ang ating computer loan. Discretion nila yon. Sila naman magsi-certify kung mayroon pang take-home pay. Di ba? Sine-certify nyo kung may take-home pay pa. Sa requirement natin, hindi na po natin kinakailangan yun. But the AAO has the discretion to require. Pero kung AAO natin ay nasa opisina, makikita naman nilang payroll eh. Kung may na take-home pay o hindi. Mahirap po tayo mag-require ng hindi naman necessary. You know, ang ating ipapagalitan po tayo ni DG Belhica dahil ayaw niya ng madaming requirements under Republic Act 11032. But if I understand yung mga AO natin, kung malayo po kayo sa payroll ninyo, wala po kayong access, discretion nyo na po, humingi kayo ng last payslip para lang makita ninyo kung mayroon pa silang net take home pay. Tama mo naman po yun. Discretion nyo po yun. Before I proceed, mayroon lang ako nababasa din sa chat, mayroon ko tanong. Tanong ko lang po kung magre-resign daw po ba ang isang member ng GSIS, may makukuha daw po ba from their contribution while in service? Wala din daw po plano mag-reapply sa any government agency kasi magpapatakbo na lang daw ng business. Okay, ang question, kung may makukuha na contribution. Of course, ang ating contribution, hindi po yun basta lang mawi-withdraw kasi hindi naman po tayo bangko But, of course, makukuha po ninyo in terms of your separation benefit, may makukuha po. Separation benefit and the life insurance. Depende kung ilang years po kayo sa service. If you have like 15 years in the government service, meron kayong separation.
Hindi matulog itong bata.
Mas cash payment. Nako, pa-off muna. May batang hinihele. Nasama yung bata. Sorry. Patulugin daw si bata. Anyway, nawala ako dun Again, if naka 15 years po kayo in the government service, you can avail of the separation benefit, 18 months cash payment outright and pension at age 60. But if naka below 15 years po kayo, babayaran po kayo ng separation payable at age 60. The CSB or the life insurance claims, syempre, upon resignation, pag-file nyo sa GSIS, babayaran po yun ng cash surrender value or termination value. Ang inyo lang po separation, ang age 60 nyo na po makukuha if below 60 po ang number of years in the government po kayo. Now, kung sinasabi po na hindi na siya, wala na siyang balak bumalik sa government, magpapatakbo, ito po yung tip ko sa inyo. Kung halimbawa lang, may 10 years kayo, hindi ko naka-15, syempre hindi ka magpe-pension sa gobyerno. Kung magninegosyo po kayo, baka mayroon kayong magpo-contribute kayo sa SSS. Pag umabot po kayo makadagdag po kayo ng like 5 years, may 10 years kayo sa amin, may 5 years kayo sa SSS, magka-qualify po kayo under portability law na magkakaroon din kayo ng pension for life. So yun po yung mga kailangan lang po yung tingnan. Sayang naman po yung contribution ninyo. But remember, kung sinasabi niyo talaga wala kayong planong bumalik at wala naman kayong plano mag-contribute sa SSS, may prescription po yung claim natin ng 4 years. So within 4 years, i-file nyo na po ang inyong claim. Otherwise, wala na po talaga kayong makukuha pag nag-prescribe ang inyong claim. Nasa batas po natin yan under Republic Act 8291. Okay, Marlene?
Okay, thank you, PTV. Moving on, from Darlene Anniversary of Marbel National High School, she has a specific question about this. The end of long term of Mrs. Feby Carbon on her consul loan was extended due to 2019 from 2020 to 2029 without applying for a reloan. Ma'am Darlene Anniversario, we have this answer for you. After verification po, the member she granted her loan, she applied for a 10-year term. So that is the reason why extended po yung kanyang loan. From PCIC, Philippine Coconut Authority Region 12, Patria nga daw, retired.
Hinay ang kwan, ma'am.
Oh, hello. Patria nga daw, who retired last May 2020, is asking GSIS the original copy of her retirement benefits voucher for through the AAO. Ma'am, this is done already. We have sent a copy for Patria nga daw, addressed to her Manila address.
Ma'am Marlene, baka may gusto mag-live. We can answer the chat box questions anyway later.
Okay,
yung mga gusto mag-live muna.
Come in po.
May nagre-raise ng hand. Sige, go ahead, ma'am.
Alright, we have question from Ainu Narisin Adulgani.
Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead, ma'am.
Hi, ma'am. Correction, ma'am.
Ay, sir, sorry. Sorry po, sir. Sorry po.
Yes, ma'am. Ainun Nasirin Abdul Ghani po from Cotabato State Polytechnic College. My question is that, ma'am, okay lang signal ko?
Opo, sir.
Okay po?
Opo.
Meron kasi kaming isang empleyado, ma'am, pagkatapos he was being charged before the ombudsman of criminal case. Dalawa ang nakafile sa kanya. Yung isa is pertaining to non-remittance of GSIS, something like that. So later on, doon sa dalawang kaso niya, ma'am, na-dismiss ang isa because of lack of evidence. But yung isa, ma'am, he was being convicted. Pero ang statement doon sa kanyang conviction, ma'am, is perpetual disqualification to hold public office. Dito yun sa Sandigan, sa ombudsman. So, the other day, kasi naka-retire na rin siya, ma'am. Naka-retire, nag-apply siya for retirement. Then, to the extent na namatay siya last year. So, dumating ang kanyang wife dito sa office asking me to give a certification because ang kanyang wife is nag-a-ask ng shares niya sa GSIS, yung parang yung mga ano niya, ma'am, yung mga benefits niya before the GSIS. So I am hesitant to give a certification stating among others that he is already retired, considering the fact that there was that pronouncement by the Sandigan Bayan convicting him of a of his charge, discharge criminal action. So ano po ang gagawin ko, ma'am? Pwede ba akong magbigay ng certification sa kanya, ma'am, na he's already, kumbaga, pwede niyang ma-receive ano ang benefits na makukuha niya sa GSIS. Yun po sana klaro po.
Sir Anoy Nazarin, ganito po yun. Sabi mo, naka-retire. Naka-claim po ba siya ng retirement sa GSIS?
Wala talaga, ma'am, kasi yun, hinihingian siya ng certification galing dito sa office na
Okay, ganito po yun,
age
sir.
of the retired.
Since mayroong decision sa Sandigan Bayan na sinasabi nyo na perpetual disqualification, kahit wala pong sinabi doon sa decision if with forfeiture or without forfeiture of benefits, accessory penalty po na sa RACs po natin yan sa under civil service. Pag mayroon pong pag may perpetual disqualification, accessory penalty po yung forfeiture of GSIS benefits. Yun po yun. But anyway, for ganun po yung ano natin sa pag mayroong mga kaso. Kahit nung nag-retire siya, wala pa yung decision. Kasi yung iba nga natin, pag nag-retire, nabayaran, invoking Republic Act 10154, after 90 days, binabayaran natin. Pero pag nagkaroon ng decision, we send the collection letter also kasi accessory penalty talaga ang forfeiture of GSIS retirement benefits. Kung sa tanong niyo po, kung magbibigay po kayo ng certification, since mayroon po siyang kaso, automatic po kasi ang GSIS membership natin. Kahit po hindi kayo mag-inform sa amin, kung mayroong Sandigan Bayan decision, pinapadalan po ang GSIS noon at tinatag po siya na dismiss, hindi rin po namin mababayaran ang kanyang heirs, except for the refund lang ng kanyang personal share na premiums. Yes, at saka yung 50% ng kanyang life insurance. Yun lang po ang marireceive, hindi po yung entire benefit just like the regular retirees.
Okay. Ma'am, klaro masyado. Maraming salamat, ma'am. Doon, ma'am, sa kung insistent pa rin ang kanyang wife na maghingi talaga ng certification, what should I do? Do I need to give a certification stating among others that may kaso siya na ganyan? What should I do, ma'am? The content of a certification, if ever.
If you are asking me as a GSIS entity, ang masasagot ko po nyon is that's not within our policy. But if you are asking me as if I will put myself in your shoes, kung certification lang naman ang hinihingi at wala namang sinasabi na for what, mayroon naman, di ba pag nagsicertify ka, sinasabi natin na this will serve as what for whatever legal purpose this may serve.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If it will not harm you naman or your agency in issuing, baka lang humihingi lang siya ng kung ano man ang kinontribute niya or whatever, nagpapatunay ka lang naman na kung ano ang nasa record mo is yan na ang certification. Actually, it is your discretion. Kung hindi naman nakaka-harm, why not? Diba? Kasi pagdating na, Sir Jay, ayan, si Attorney Jason.
Sir, actually po, okay lang naman po mag-issue ng certificate kasi sa totoo lang, under din sa RA 10154 na binanggit ni VP Vilma, that same law can also be used against you if humihingi sila tapos nadidelay dahil sasabihin nila, lagpas 3 buwan na hindi pa rin ako binibigyan ng certification. Pointing to it as the reason bakit hindi sila maka-avail ng benepisyo, which could be negative for you. Ang sa akin lang po, as long as the certification mentions kung ano talaga yung sitwasyon, like sasabihin niyo na sa records namin, separated siya sa amin dahil meron siyang kaso, tapos ganyan. So, as long as it is clear from your certification yung nature ng separation niya, which is that of having being convicted siguro by the Sandigan Bayan, sa sinabi niyo kasi, sir, wala kayong sinabi kasi, sir, kung ano yung kaso niya or kung meron bang dismissal, basta ang nabanggit niyo po is meron siyang perpetual disqualification from joining public service, So but I assume baka convicted siya. And it really matters kasi kung ano ang kaso. Like for example, if it is a Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act na violation tapos convict siya, kahit ano pa ang penalty, under the law itself, automatically may forfeiture of benefits yun. So, okay lang po. I agree with VP Vilma that it's okay to issue a certification. Basta, let's just make sure that the nature of the separation is made very clear such that hindi talaga magkakamali. Then, what will happen is, pag umabot yun sa GSIS at nakita namin na, may kaso pala to, then maybe the spouse could get whatever is due them. Kasi kahit na may kaso at may forfeiture benefits, hindi naman totally walang makukuha. There are other provisions like half of the insurance policy pertaining to the personal share na binayaran niya, whether yung refund ng personal share ng premiums. So para lang pwedeng mag-umpisa yung kung ano man ang i-request nila sa GSIS po. Yun lang po.
Opo,
Thank you, Sir Jason.
Thank you.
Maraming salamat talaga, sir, at saka Ma'am Welma. I will just take this opportunity by saying maraming salamat din talaga, Ma'am, sa GSIS Cotabato sa kanilang tulong sa amin na hindi talaga sila, kumbaga, hindi sila naiinis sa amin, to make it more sorry to use the word naiinis. I mean, sa kakulitan ko, dahil makulit ako, ma'am, because I really want to help the employees na maka-update talaga ako. Lalo na kay Sir Barager, maraming salamat. At saka kay Sir Biran, I don't know where Sir Biran is, pero nagpapasalamat ako sa kanila, ma'am, sa kanilang tulong. Maraming salamat, ma'am.
Maraming salamat din sa iyo, sir, sa pagiging proactive as an AAO sa GSIS. Ikaw po yung aming tulay sa empleyado ninyo at sa amin sa GSIS. Thank you so much.
Salamat po, Sir Abdul Ghani and VPB. Moving on, do we still have live questions?
Miss Marlene, we have one question.
Okay, come in.
From Mama Restila Tabale. Okay, shall I? All right. Good morning. I would like to ask or inquire po regarding sa educational loan. Hiningian po kami ng updated SOA, which is yun yung isa sa mga requirements. Kaso sa updated na SOA is konti na lang ang balance, which is yun ang basehan. Question po, ang total amount sa SOA, yun di po ba ang ma-approve na loan or ang balance na lang? Kasi po, di ba, nakaka-launch lang ng GFAL educational loan. I'm sure half of the tuition fee and miscellaneous na bayaran na po. Thanks po.
Ang SOA po natin, yun ang babayaran natin, yung balance. Kasi sabi niyo, binayaran niya, konti na lang yung balance. So yung balance sinandan sa SOA, yun lang po babayaran. So remember, this is payable to the school. Pag binayaran po namin yung buong SOA, hindi yung balance, mag-overpayment po kayo. Yun ang babayaran sa school. Anyway po, this is 5-year naman po kayo mag-avail at least every year. Next, siguro ngayon, alam namin na marami na nakabayad, kaya konti-konti pa lang nag-a-apply ng educational loan. Baka pwede mong i-reserve niyan next year. At least, mayroon ka, ano naman yan hindi naman yan year na hindi ka mag-avail ngayon, is nagka-count na yung year 1. Yun po, yung balance lang po ang babayaran natin since it's payable to the school. Meron akong nabasa dito, meron tayong live question? Do we have a live question?
Hello, ma'am. Good morning po.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Yes po, ma'am. Ask lang po ako about the GPAL.
Okay.
Wala po kaming, we have no loan in private, but we want to avail on a GPAL loan. Can we avail?
Ay, sir, kasi yung very, very intense.
Delia po ito, ma'am. Excuse me mo. Delia po.
Ma'am, sorry.
Yes,
wala
po.
kasing picture, kaya hindi ko makita. Ay, sorry, Ma'am Delia. Sorry. Hindi kasi putol ang pangalan. Anyway, ang very intention po ng GFAL natin is to help our government employees na ma-redeem or mabayaran po ang inyong mga PLI. Now, if wala po kayong PLI, baka mag-MPL na lang po kayo. Huwag na lang po kayo mag-GFAL. MPL na lang po instead of GFAL. Ang PLI po, ang makaka-top up lang po kayo if mayroon din kayong PLI na dapat na babayaran ni GSIS. So yun po yung ating guidelines sa GFAL po. Hindi po pwede na all will be released to our members. Prerequisite po natin na mayroon kayong lending or babayaran na utang para maka-avail ng GFAL at saka top up.
Excuse me, ma'am. How
Yes,
about
ma'am.
kung ang pag-ibig na lang i-consider natin?
Yes
Pwede
po,
po.
any government or private lending as long as pumapayag po yung lending ninyo. Meron pa kasi mga lending na hindi sila pumapayag na i-redeem. Hindi kayo pinapag-graduate. So as long as pumapayag po sila kahit ano po, government or your cooperative ba or private man or government lending institution.
Okay po, ma'am. Thank you po. Klaro po ang
Okay, Ma'am Delia.
Thank you
Next
po.
live question.
Live question, meron pa po tayo.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning.
Sir
Yes,
Ronald from DICT,
Yes.
kumusta na po yung ating magiging connectivity? From DICT siya.
Meron na pong mga implementation sa ngayon. Niro-roll out na po yan. And hopefully, sana makarating na rin sa mga government offices natin yung GovNet. It is also one of the project ng DICT. Okay, ma'am, question lang po.
Sorry, ikaw munang natanong ko eh. Okay, go ahead.
Ganyan. Ma'am, tanong lang po, kasi magkasama actually kami ni Ma'am Delia dito ngayon. And this is the common question na tinatanong ng mga kasamahan din namin sa opisina. Because as of now, the ICT, although we have MOA with GSIS as to this GFAL loan, but I don't think, para merong isa. No? Merong isa ata naka-apply from the office of the GFAL. Because of the reason nga, na walang mga PLIs or wala kami mga loans in the private sectors. So,
naman.
Kung meron lang sana kaming pwede utangan sa private pa, marami din kaming utang doon. Kaya lang wala eh. But anyway, ang tanong lang doon ma'am, kasi nabanggit niyo po, it could be government, it could be private, as long as meron kang loan, and that is reflected also in the payslip. The question po is, as to the payment of these loans to the PLIs, no? Paano po bang nun? Is it by check? Kasi kailangan pa nila i-approve eh, kung papabayaran ba nila or hindi. So, paano po bang arrangement?
By check po yan, sir. Pwede po kayong i-orient ng ating branch dyan how paano magiging arrangement with PLI. Ang importante lang po kung payag sila. Kukuha kayo ng statement of account sa kanila and then check po ang i-release natin.
Okay po. So, ang lang doon ma'am is at least they allow, no? Papayagan nila na babayaran ng buo yung utang. Yun na naman yung natin doon, ma'am.
Opo. Yes, sir.
Ma'am. Salamat. Ma'am, salamat masyado. Thank you.
Thank you din sa input mo regarding connectivity, Sir Ronald.
Salamat po.
Okay. Any other live questions? Yung mga question po na nandito sa chat, sasagutin po namin ito. Pwede na, ito na lang, sasagutin ko muna ito. Good day po. Nagtatanong siya kung mag-resign na siya, na separate from service, paano, ang ganda naman itong tanong, nagtatanong siya kung paano niya isi-settle niya o ang kanyang account. Pwede po bang over-the-counter installment? Sure. Pwede pong over-the-counter, pwede ring full payment, pwede ring installment. Pag nag-out of, di ba kanina, merong next year, magkakaroon tayo ng mga bayad center. Pwede rin ko sa mga bayad center na mga pagbayad. But anytime, pwede po kayo mag-over-the-counter sa GSIS cashier. Yun. Mayroon pa ba live question tayo dyan?
Okay, Lerian Ethel of TESDA 12, GenSan. You're raising it.
Yes po. May tanong lang po regarding sa pag-upload ng GS sa aming promoted na employees, G-share po. Kasi po, based po sa advice ng GSIS GenSan na yung differential ng aming promoted employees is ilalagay namin siya i-remit namin siya through SAP out of the savings.
Okay.
As per DBM po namin, from the period of April until now, ang DBM pa rin po ang magre-remit ng government share.
Yes. Anong issue po natin, Ma'am Lirian?
Paano po yung pag-upload namin ng reporting? Na-upload po namin.
Pag-upload ng inyo na binabayad sa GSIS, kayo bang magbabayad sa GS niya, hindi yung DBM?
Ano po ma'am, kasi ganito po yun. In-upload ko po siya through ABCS, yung G-share ng aming promoted employees. Kaso lang po, 100% na po yun. Kaya lang po, tumawag si GSIS GenSan sa amin na tanggalin yung differential naman. Kasi hindi po ako nagkamali, May, June po yun na differential. Bali, G-share lang po alone na current month. Pero yung previous po kasi, pinadelete po sa akin. So,
okay,
paano
BCU,
po namin i-share nung May and June? Yes, ma'am.
BCU GenSan, kindly.
Mel, andyan si Dolor. Naputol sila sa office. Pa-email na lang, ma'am.
Mel, sandito ako.
Okay.
Okay, Dolor.
Ay, ma'am, yung ating regular kasi, dapat hindi natin hinahaluan nung back natin na GS, yung mga adjustment. Ang instruction namin is, ngayon is, i-upload mo siya multi-months, magkakasama yung mga differential. Kasi iba yung OR po ng regular kaysa yung OR ng differential. Tanong po mamaya sa inyo, ma'am, for further instruction.
Anyway, Ma'am Lirian, I will let GenSan BCU team coordinate with you today para masagot po yung inyong problema at ma-resolve. Dolor, Manager Gigi, pwedeng pa-resolve yung case na yan within the day? Masagot ang ating taga-TESDA?
Yes po, BP.
Okay, sige, Ma'am Lirian. They will collaborate with you today. Mayroong isang tanong dito, basahin ko lang, Marlene. If namatay po yung member with 10 years service lang po siya, may makukuha po ba ang family niya? Of course, sa 10-year service, namatay siya active, while on active service pa siya, death claim at saka yung inyong yung kanyang retirement benefit na due sa kanya, makukuha ng years. Pero kung out of the service na po na namatay ang member na hindi naman po siya maging pensioner at nakuha niya na lahat ang kanyang except yung kanyang separation which is due at age 60, may entitled po sila sa funeral claim. Kung nakuha niya yung life niya o kung hindi pa nakuha yung life niya, pwede niyo mag-claim. Depende. Pero kung in service siya na namatay, yes, may makukuha na death claim at saka yung kanyang retirement portion.
Okay, thank you.
VP,
yes. May live
VP,
pa.
we also have question from one of our pensioners, Sir Cesar Mejeka. Is it possible po ba na magkaroon ng pension increase?
Mayroon po tayong annual pension increase. By January po, magkakaroon na naman ng pension increase ang ating pensioners. Na-release na po yung cash gift. Sa January, ang kanilang inaantay ang kanilang annual pension increase. Ito po ay kagaya, same na kung sino po yung entitled doon sa cash gift, sila rin yung entitled doon sa pension increase comes January po. Yes. Do we still have live question, Marlene?
Last three questions.
May naka-raise hand sila. 3 participants raised hand daw. Sino naka-raise hand?
Live questions.
Last 3 live questions tayo. May nakatatlong naka-raise hand. Sige, entertain natin si tatlong raised hand.
Okay.
Sino una?
Yung naka-raise hand po. DPWH Sarangani is next. Tapos na po yung isa. Dalawa na lang.
Ma'am, regarding po doon sa enrollment ng e-card, kay Ma'am Mendoza, Monday lang po ba talaga yung enrollment ng e-card, ma'am? Clarification
no, ma'am. We have revised our alternative work arrangement. So sometime in October, we started our enrollment from Monday to Friday. Kasi last time, it was only Thursday nung medyo kasagsaga ng pandemic sa GenSan. But we adjusted our AWA effective later part ng October. It's Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday ang enrollment. We start at 9 o'clock and at least mga 3 dapat nandoon na yung member. Kasi syempre kung 3 to 4 or 4 o'clock siya pupunta, medyo wrapping up of the daily activities na kami. So if ever na merong mag-enroll, try to be at the office from 9 to 3. Ganun po. It's Monday to Friday.
Thank you po. Additional po, regarding doon sa issuance ng e-card, meron bang magagawa ang GSIS like sa bangko ng ang problema talaga ma'am is the Land Bank of the Philippines. Kasi nagrereklamo na yung mga member na yung updating nga ng card ma'am, the UMID card na which is yung may chips na. Yung iba kasi ma'am inabot na ng 2 years so wala pa rin yung kanilang cards. So, and they kept on making follow-ups dun sa bangko. And pahirapan kasi ngayon ma'am, pagpapunta ka ng bangko, kung gusto mo mag-follow up talaga, you have to wait 1 day after ka pa makater ng bangko. So pabalik-balik doon, wala pa rin nangyayari.
Ma'am, may I suggest?
Doon, ma'am?
Yes ma'am, we can intercede. May I suggest na pabigay lang ng list kay Manager Chichi And then Manager Gigi will intercede. Ipadala po namin sa Land Bank yung mga nangangailangan ng yung nag-aantay ng kanilang EMV compliant card. Padala po natin through email. Kahit hindi mo na sila pamunta, then tatawagan na lang sila if already available ang kanilang card. Sige ma'am, pa-email lang po yung mga pangalan na sinasabi niyo kung sino sila na hindi pa lang bibigyan ng EMV.
Thank you po. God bless po.
Okay, next live question.
From Ms. Sevilla. The next is from SKSU of Isulan. Ma'am Lani Alcon, you are raising your hand. Ma'am Lani?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Tanong ko lang, dun sa halimbawa, sa retirees ito mag-asawa, and then namatay yung isang spouse, meron pa bang benefit na makukuha yung kanyang spouse? Living
Yes,
spouse
ma'am.
niya?
Survivorship. Kung sila mag-asawa parehong old age pensioner and one died before the other, ang surviving spouse will have the survivorship pension, which is 50% of the basic monthly pension ng namatay ng pensioner.
Okay po. Salamat po, ma'am.
You're welcome. Next, yung ating last live question, unless meron pang humihirit. Last live question.
Na-serve na natin si Tesda. From our chat box, from Jihan Abdul. Bakit po may penalty? Since ang payment po ay through agency, paano malaman if may penalty tayo?
Kung wala namang arrearage, ang penalty lang po natin ay whenever delayed po at hindi kayo nabawasan at delayed ang payment ninyo. Kung monthly, meron po kayo talagang deduction religiously at binabawasan kayo ng agency, wala po kayong penalty for sure. At eksakto naman po ang bawas sa inyo unless underpayment po kayo. Kumbaga, halimbawa, 3,000 a month amortization pero binabawasan kayo monthly nga, religiously, 2,000 lang. So underpaid kayo ng 1,000. Definitely, magkakaroon ng penalty doon sa underpayment. So yon. Anyway, Marlene, we will be concluding the stakeholders. Lahat ng question na nasa chat box, make sure na masasagot ninyo yan. Mag-iwan lang po ng telephone number doon sa may mga concern para matawagan kayo within the day and ma-address po lahat ng concerns natin. Unless meron pa dyan isa, kasi sabi ko tatlo, isa na lang yung nagtanong eh. Meron pa ba gusto?
Maxiesa Galvez, you're raising your hand. You're the last one. Please come in. Miss Galvez. Maxiesa Galvez. Nag-surrender na siya. Yung OP Agricultural School. Ma'am Jennifer Casimina, please come in. You're raising your hand.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, another question po or clarification. Ma'am, we have an employee who has just reinstated after a year of leave without pay. So yung remittances niya, kasi inayos pa namin, ready na for payment, naka-check na po, naka-lock na din. Ang question niya po, is she qualified for GFAL? Or when will she be qualified for GFAL?
Kanina meron tayong na-mention doon sa qualification, must not be on leave without pay.
Yeah, reinstated na po siya, ma'am.
Kung na-reinstate na siya and hindi na siya, may leave credits na ulit siya, pwede na siya maka-avail. But at the moment na mayroon pa siyang may leave without pay pa siya, hindi pa siya pwede maka-avail.
Reinstated na po siya, ma'am, since July 2020. Ang hindi lang po nare-remit is yung kanyang contribution. Pero na-lock na din po namin. Ready na ang check.
Kung okay na siya, hindi na siya on law, pwede na siya maka-avail.
Thank you po.
Okay.
Thank you. Can we
meron lang last two participants raising their hands. Okay, go ahead. Tapusin na lang natin si dalawa.
Miss Galvez, go ahead.
Hello po. Yung kwan po kasi namin, tatlong empleyado namin na-promote po sila. Tapos gi-update ko po yung salary nila. Nag-reply naman po yung sa search po, yung sa may web MSP. Nag-reply naman po sila ng updating. Tapos nung tinignan nila yung kwan nila, yung records nila sa chaos, yung dating salary pa rin nila yung nag-a-appear, hindi yung bago.
Okay. Hindi po live data yung nasa kiosk natin. Yung live data po natin yung nasa GSIS talaga, yung SAP, yung SAP. So anyway, we will check with membership kung nakita na ba kung talagang na-update na siya. Mayroon lang delay konti ang kiosk natin. So pag tinignan niya ulit yon, baka updated na yon.
Tapos yung isa pa po, yung bagong new mid-card, yung bagong release, yung may EMB, hindi po siya nare-read nung chaos.
Oh, if it's the humid card na EMV ang hindi nare-read ng kiosk, baka kailangan niyang ibalik sa bangko, ireklamo niya yon, kung anong bangko niya, yun ba? Or LBP na not readable by kiosk para i-replace po nila yon. Pwede niyang ibalik sa bangko. Sila po kasi nag-release ng mga EMV. Unless po, ano yan, is it a replacement ng kanyang EMV compliant, ng kanyang magnetic stripe? Kasi kung hindi siya replacement, yung first issue ng GSIS, pwedeng sa GSIS nyo ibalik para kami makapag-intercede.
Hindi, first po yun na humid card, hindi po siya nakakuha nung last.
First humid card niya yan. Pwede nyo i-ano sa GSIS para mapag-request na lang ng replacement. Through GSIS. Okay, last live question tayo na.
Thank you.
Do we have one more live question? Parang wala na yata, wala na yung nag-raise na hand. Okay, so nakikita ko Marlene and Joanne, yung mga live questions natin, sinasagot na pala.
BPB?
Yes,
BPB.
trustee.
May tatanong lang ako. Na-invite ba natin ang DepEd Region 12 at saka division offices within Region 12?
Na-invite
ba natin sa dialogue natin ngayon?
Opo. Lahat po Opo.
Kasi naobserbahan ko ba, kahit isa walang AAO from the elementary.
Meron po tayong trustee.
Si Ma'am Wilma Ampatuan and si Mirasol.
Tahimik lang po sila, trustee.
Meron
Elementary? Kasi usually high school independent units.
Meron po trustee and
meron?
Yes po, and we also had our AAO Zoom meeting prior to this schedule. 4 meetings na po kami with our AAO sa DepEd Elementary.
Okay. Very good.
Excuse me. Sir, we're here po. We're here. From
Ayun.
Marami po kami, sir.
Kasi usually po manager B at saka dalawang branch managers natin. Ang kalimitan po sa mga inquiries natin, may nagatik sa atin directly ba? Ay coming from the elementary, it's because of the volume and the bulk of employees within the level. So okay naman kung nagme-meet na kayo sa AOs.
Oo. Andyan sila, sir. Nag-acknowledge naman. Tahimik lang sila nanonood sa atin. But anyway, nakita ko yung chat group natin na yung chat na sinasabi sa GenSan, yung mga katanungan, Marlene and Joanne. So, pakitingnan nyo na lang ang hindi pa na-address. And with that, I'd like to give back the floor to Trustee for his last message. Ano po yung mga last mensahe po ninyo sa ating mga kababayan dyan sa GenSan and Coronadal and Cotabato? Trustee Kahar.
Unang-una, pinapasalamatan ko kayong lahat. Lalong-lalo ka na BPP, ang dalawang managers for your ever-ready reply and responses to the different queries. So sa ating mga AAOs at saka head of offices na nagpadala ng kanilang representative, maraming salamat sa inyong active participation para at least yung mga problema natin between the agency concerned and the GSIS is now practically based out. So thank you very much to all of you for the active participation of everyone. So hopefully, ang GSIS po ay patuloy na lumalago at patuloy na lalago para sa kapakanan ng ating mga members and pensioners. Thank you very much.
Okay. Marlene?
Yung branches mo yung kwan mo doon.
Okay, Joanne, let's conclude this.
Okay.
Thank you everyone for participating to our Q&A. I am sure that the participants have learned a lot, and we hope that what you have learned today will be shared to your colleagues as well. Again, we would like to invite VP Vilma for the closing remarks.
Tapos na yon, Joanne, we already are closing with Trustee. And anyway, thank you everyone. Thank you to our panel of executives who graced this event and Trustee Kahar. Maraming salamat po at sa lahat po ng mga managers natin na nandyan and for all your participation. And of course, to all our stakeholders who stayed on until now, they're still there. Feel free to collaborate with us anytime. Yun lang po ang kailangan namin, mag-collaborate lang po tayo. Let's do electronic transactions considering that we have to observe the health protocols na pinapatupad po ng ating mga local government units. Thank you so much. And before we end, picture taking daw lang